Good day. I am Michael, and welcome back to my channel. And today we will be looking at um, my object-oriented 2 final project. And the final project was basically based on an app that we had to create, which allows for student registration with the use of obviously we're using Java code. Right, but we had several concepts that we needed to explore and touched on in this project. So let's just jump straight into it. So as you can see, we're using the MVC pattern, design pattern, which is model view controller. And also I've touched on the factory pattern and the observer pattern as well. So to begin, the concept basically has it uses the model, which in my opinion this is very similar to internet technology, whereby it connects to our database. However, that uses PHP sessions, but we will be using model slash objects to hold data and send data across to the database and also to the user, right? So we'll do, this is the model, this is all the models that we have. We have all objects, which will hold objects. We have the view, which I have several views based on I guess the factory pattern will play a role based on your credentials that you would log in. And the factory pattern will then now decide what user based on your credentials, whether it be a student or a faculty. And then we have the controller. So my design, what happened with my design is that after designing it and realizing I needed something to communicate from the client side and also to the server, I came up with commands. So, well, the logic for the server, so that based on certain things, the server would respond a certain way. So that's basically what the commands or the logic of the server logic is. And also we have a app controller for both the client and the server side itself. So in essence, the the concepts that was touched on would be like threads, because we have well, I built again my logic. Initially I built a thread, and that as you hit the main, it would allow for the server to run in the background. So that's one of the threads that I did. Also, we have threads like for observers and notifications. We touched on networking. We looked at how to connect a database from using Java. And what was one of the main issues, well, concept that we touched on was the Java FX. This course showed from the very first class, or a few classes, we looked at the usage of JavaFX, implementing buttons, tables, photos, image carousel. We touched on a few concepts of JavaFX, but I guess it's limitless based on your imagination. So that's just my main overview of the concept of the what I did for the final project. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. We're gonna run on main because everything is basically, to begin to have this program run, it uses a MySQL. So whatever program that you have is connected to MySQL, whether it's WAMP, XAMPP, MAP. You just need to have it running before it actually before executing this program. So it is, I have it already running in the background. It's already connected. That needs to be connected before, because in the DOA model, which is data access controls, these classes communicates directly to the database, and I have a class that access for the communication to the database itself. So this needs to be running before you actually start this program. So like I said, I have in my main, I have a logic that asks or looks for if the server is running, because the server needs to also be running before this program can actually start. All right, so I'm just gonna run it. and we're going to do a demo, see how it actually performs, see what my SWOT analysis can do, and what are some of my challenges. So consoles running. So all right, so this is my main login screen. Based on the user information, it asks for username and password. So what username do I have? All right, so I'm gonna log in as a student. All right, so this is how it looks as logging as a student, and also we can have multiple instances of this program running. So I'm just gonna pull up another version of it. All right, and I'm gonna log in as a lecturer. Yes, I created a lecturer profile for my lecturer. He wouldn't mind. All right, so these are basically what the different. This is a very good example of how the factory pattern looks in the essence of we have variations of the user being created. All right, so as a student, you can view what courses you have available. You can register for a course, or you can request advisement in terms of using the faculty ID and sending the message and stuff. All right, so we have some kinks in my design. I know one of the challenges would be time constraint. This semester is so much you can get done within the semester and given our deadlines. What I would have liked is probably to, or after the fact that the program was built and given my time constraints, I probably would have liked to included a button right here just to click on register, right? But in the interim now, or how my program is currently designed, I have to remember a code, right? So I have to remember the code, as in what code do I want the ID. Let's say, for instance, 22. I would have to now click 22 and now register. Yeah, so it's a little tedious like that, and also you have to know what the faculty ID is before clicking submit on this end. So that's something probably I would have wanted to tidy up if I had given more time. All right, and that's pretty much it with the student side. You can request the advisement to register, and it goes straight, and then we can log out. It takes you back to this login screen. And for the faculty side, again, we have a table, which I found was the most convenient way to do it. It has a list of the students, and it has a list of the advisements. Or again, also, I would probably wanted to have, instead of, so everything is numbers in this in my initial design. Everything is numbers. I would probably have wanted to pull like the student name itself. So you would have to actually go back, look at the ID, see what's the name, and then look at the student ID, right? And they had requested advisement. And the notification, this also I would have liked to clean up. It just, if I had additional time, I would have also liked to put this into a table form as well, right? But so let me see how this works. Request 3, and we're gonna approve, and okay, come back, and it's approved. All right, and on the student side, they will be notified of what it does. All right, so pretty much this is the design that I have. The also to note, during the journey of this program, it showed that I needed a logic to communicate on my controllers. So I implemented something known as the protocol, the parsing. I have a lot of that because the server could only read a specific way because it called for protocols, and the GUI you would have implemented a lot more text into it. So I had to create a method after seeing what is being what it can accomplish, I had to come up with a way in terms of how to have the server communicate with the client side. So I had to get that in between, and that's where the parsing logic came in, that so that the server can interpret what the user is saying, right? And all these DOAs are data access objects, whereby these are responsible for communicating Java to SQL, SQL to Java. Basically, what the DOAs are, the classes are basically for. The network class is for the server, and the client, the college clients, the app controller uses that because the app controller, it acts as the middle layer between the client and the GUI. So it comes like this: the client server has the server client controller, and then it connects to the DOAs, and the DOAs connects to the database. And on the other side, we have the interface, which is the GUI, which is this. It then connects now to the app controller, and this connects to the server. So we have classes for the GUI that controls the GUI, and we have classes that controls the for the server side. So in no instances that the user itself would directly connect to the database itself. And I think I've captured the true essence of what our MVC does, or how it should operate. All in all, I think that the my GUI could have used a little more logic and a little more design in terms of actually having certain concepts fully displayed, whereby I pull like a student name instead of an ID. So I think that's it pretty much. What this final project does, and what it should have achieved. Um, yeah, this is what I was building for the entire semester. Um, I had a great time. I learned a lot. My lecturer was very helpful. This course rather was more or less it was interesting in the essence of having to it entailed a lot of reading. And the lecturer helped us exactly where we needed help. We just reached out, and she was very much available. So thank you so much for coming along with me, and thank you so much. Bye.